Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justin and today I am making a recap video covering the 2018 Skate Canada International Competition, which was held in Laval, Quebec last weekend. And I was so fortunate to be able to attend that competition, and it was so amazing being there live and in person. I had so much fun. If you haven't already, I recommend checking out the vlog that's already on my YouTube channel. It was really fun carrying my digital camera around and capturing some special moments at the competition. Now, this video is going up really late because some of you know that I've been dealing with some family problems since being back from Skate Canada International. My dad has actually been in the hospital before Skate Canada started, so I got the phone call when I was in Montreal, but I was thankful to have been around other skating fans and friends that night who helped keep me calm and offered me kind words and advice to deal with it throughout the rest of the weekend. I eventually learned how to compartmentalize my thoughts so I could just enjoy being there in the moment at the competition. And so thank you to those friends who were there, and thank you to everyone on Twitter who sent your well wishes to me, my family, and my father. He will be discharged soon, actually tomorrow, so very soon. That's some good news. So thank you everyone for keeping us in your thoughts. Now let's move on to the recap. So shortly after filming the intro to this video, I had to take care of something for my family, and now I'm back, but I lost a lot of natural lighting out of my window. And to prevent further delaying this recap from going up, I decided to film the rest of this recap in a different format. It is going to be in the style of a screen recording. So what you see right now is actually my web browser on the ISU website, and I figured that we could just discuss the results in detail as we look at the scores. I think that's okay because you all know what I look like, and it's nice to do things differently every now and then. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with the ladies. Now, as you can see here, Elizaveta Tuktamysheva of Russia barely won the competition over Japanese newcomer Mako Yamashita. The difference between their total scores was like 0.2 of a point. It can't get much closer than that. Elizaveta definitely won this competition from the short program, but was in third in the free skate. And in the free program, it was actually extremely close between Mako and Evgenia Medvedeva, who actually won that segment of the competition. The main reason why she didn't win gold or silver was because she had such a poor outing in the short program. As you can see here in 7th place, we'll talk about that in just a bit. Mariah Bell, I'd say this is an impressive showing for her of the United States. Did a lot better than I expected to. An okay showing for Elizaveta Turzenbayeva of Kazakhstan. Wakaba Higuchi, kind of a disappointing placement here considering she did so well in the short program. You can see here she was 2nd and then dropped all the way down to 6th overall. Star Andrews, even though she was in 7th place here, I have to say this was a respectable skate for her, especially considering that she did not skate as well a week before at Skate America. Same goes for Elaine Chartron of Canada. 8th place in both segments of the competition is not really impressive to say out loud, but when you watch her performances, they were a moral victory for her here. So kudos to Elaine. Now let's see if we can discuss some details of the scores while looking at the protocols. I'd say let's start off with Elizaveta Tuktamysheva in the short program, because that was impressive. So impressive that it got a high score of 74.22. Now, if that's not a high score, I don't know what is. That was so impressive. The main reason she got that high score is this first element you see here on the protocol. So triple axel, no under rotation, and let me tell you, that looked really good. Great height, perfect rotation, nice flow in and out of the jump. I was blown away seeing that in person. She actually did it in the warm-up right before the short program and landed it perfectly there as well. So I knew it was going to be good in the program. Oh, total score of 9.03 points for that one element. Now, the one thing that just doesn't make sense to me is if we look at the judges' scores here for the grade of execution marks, we have some 3s, a 1, a 0. Two judges gave it a -1 GOE mark, and I don't understand how they could be seeing something differently from the other 7 judges. But oh well, she got the full points for it, and she also did a triple combination. The triple toe with positive grade of execution marks. In the past, she's been criticized of just doing the triple axel but going for a triple double combination. Welp, that did not happen here. Spins were all well executed level 4s. But let's take a look at the program component marks here. And these are actually very modest scores for a lady who won the competition. So 8s and even 7.46 for transitions. So that totals to 3183. Let's compare it to Evgenia, who received the highest program component marks. So she was down in 7th. Yeah, so 34.33 versus 31. And actually, Wakaba Higuchi had higher program component marks at 32.49. So, interesting to note. Let's also take a look at the results of the free skate here. So as you can see, Evgenia did not win the free skate portion. It was Evgenia. She was actually 3rd. And it was so close, if you remember. I'd say this first element here, yeah, that's probably one of the major reasons why she didn't win the free program segment of this competition. Got the full rotation, but unfortunately had to be given a deduction and then minus good of execution marks. But 4 points, that's not too shabby compared to a double axel. And also right here, triple Lutz double toe instead of triple toe. Not sure if this double axel, double toe, double loop, if that was meant to be a triple toe. But yeah, less difficult technical content, especially considering the triple axel was not clean. And then again here, modest, very modest scores for program component marks. So she'll probably want to do some basic training on basic skating skills, maybe add some more difficult choreography and transitions to both her programs to see this mark go up over time. Then let's move on to second place finisher, Mako of Japan. She was very surprising in the short program because she was really impressive. To the naked eye, she looked clean, but as you see her on the protocol, she did get an edge call on the triple flip. Of course, me being in attendance in person, I did not notice the edge call. So, great performance by her. And these actually are not bad program component marks for someone who is just starting out in the senior ranks. Very respectable, but kind of lower, which is why she was only in 3rd and not higher after the short program. I liked seeing this difficult triple Lutz triple toe combination. Really, really difficult content. And then let's bring it back to the free skate. So Mako's free skate score was 136.76, and then Evgenia's was 137.08. So not even a point separated the free program scores from Mako and Evgenia. So let's focus on Mako here. And I will say, I think that Mako had the skate of the evening. She was the last one to go of the night. And it was after a few non-perfect skates from the other ladies, and it just brought the crowd to their feet. She's very lyrically advanced for being such a newcomer on the scene. So I think she's going to make a splash at Japanese Nationals and other competitions that she's competing in this season. The field is so deep in Japan. I cannot even fathom what it must be like to be a female Japanese skater rising in the ranks. There is so much competition. But we all need to remember this name, Mako Yamashita. Free program, oh, look at what elements she started off with. Triple lutz, triple toe, double toe. So impressive. And then, what else can I say here? She actually had an under rotation call on the triple loop. So maybe if it was fully rotated, she would have won the competition. So, interesting stuff to think about. And then program component marks actually went up a little bit for the free skate. And I actually agree with this. She had a moment in the free program and she took advantage of skating last. And the audience reacted to it, which means the judges had to as well. So we see some eights here, low eights, whereas she was in the mid sevens for the short program. I wouldn't be surprised if her program component marks would continue to creep up a little more than this later on in the season. So ignore this text message. I don't know how to make these go away, but thank you, my friend, for asking about my dad. Now let's go over to Evgenia Medvedeva, who won the short program. So, very poor short program performance in terms of executing the technical jumps, but otherwise, I'm still a fan of her short program music choice. Definitely more of a Western music choice than what she's done in the past. I think the free program is more of her personal style. And I'm going to quote one of my Twitter friends, Erin Conley, because she tweeted this and I thought it was perfect. Neither programs are perfect for Evgenia right now, but they're a step in the right direction. And I totally agree with her. What isn't a step in the right direction are these jumps. Unless it's kind of planned to be this way because it is a transition season for Evgenia. She has a new coach. She's training outside of Russia. I think Brian Orser's trying to tweak her technique. And she actually has a long goal in mind here. She wants to be able to be very competitive for the gold medal at the next Olympic Games. So right now, she's just making adjustments to her technique that can last her a long while. But when you step out of a triple flip and it's downgraded and it was supposed to be a combination, you lose a lot of points. I mean, there is just no coming back from that. Base value 1.98. I mean, when a combination, it should be around 8 points or above. So total score is 60.83. She hasn't seen a score that low, probably since being in the senior ranks. But the judges are still rewarding her for her overall skating quality. Whoa, someone gave her a 9.25 for composition. That's interesting. But let's focus on the free program now. She was able to rally back, and I was surprised. I thought she'd be off the podium, but no, she is a fighter. Like I said, not perfect technically, but still managed to gain some extra points by backloading. You see the triple flip, triple toe, triple sock out, triple toe, both in the second half with a 10% bonus. Unfortunate under rotation call on the triple loop there. And then an edge call, an unclear edge call on the triple lutz. So she racked up enough points to win the free program segment. And program component marks, 9 in performance. And I'd say I would agree with that. The Canadian audience were so supportive of Evgenia at Skate Canada International. It was really great to see. It's almost like they adopted her because she now trains at the Toronto Cricket Club. And I gotta say, it's interesting here to see the top two Russian ladies on the podium not be part of the Eteri camp. And if you don't know who Eteri is, she is the former coach of Evgenia Medvedeva and the current coach to Alina Zagitova, and there was drama surrounding their professional split this summer, which is ultimately how Evgenia ended up training in Canada. So what else can I say? Both U.S. ladies, Mariah Bell and Star Andrews, have the it factor for me. They just need to put two clean programs together in a competition. Both of them did well in the short, then made mistakes in the long. And actually, let's look at Mariah Bell's short program here. because I actually think she had a really good performance. A decent score, 63.35, considering she got two under rotation calls, which was on this triple Lutz and triple toe. I didn't think that combination looked clean in person, but I was happy she was able to stay on her feet. Had she fallen, she would have lost another point for the deduction, and the program component marks might have even been affected as well. But had this combination been completely clean with GOE, this could have easily been in the high 60s. But this is a step in the right direction. Mariah Bell has kind of been struggling the past few seasons to become a contender for being a top US ladies skater. I don't think she's there yet, but she has the potential to be. Same with Star Andrews. She did really well after short program. Fourth place? Woohoo! Triple toe, triple toe. By the way, everybody landing the triple toe made me think of my girl Gabby Daleman, who could not be at this competition because she did that combination really well for the past couple of seasons. So it's interesting to see that combination now be popular. I think it's now a trend to really try your best to skate a clean short program, which Star did, and I'm super proud of her. Spins are also impressive. Look at all those level fours. Program component marks, we'll get there with time, but very impressive for Star. She came out to skate at Skate Canada International to prove that she was much better than how she skated at Skate America. So kudos to Star. Wakaba Higuchi, let's go back to her results here. Did a better job with her short program here than in her summer competition. She still needs to work on really performing, as it can seem really dull when the upbeat moments of the music don't match her slower movements of the skating. It's possible that she's still recovering from an injury, and that would explain why she isn't able to completely sell the program. But you know what? We saw Mako here. The ladies' field in Japan is becoming so deep that I hope she's on an upward trajectory for the season, as she'll need to do well at Japanese nationals to continue on with the big international competitions. And remember, Wakaba is the reigning world silver medalist. Then Elaine had a personal victory by putting out some non disastrous programs. But if you take out under rotations, they were actually very enjoyable to watch. So I just think staying on her feet and continuing to skate well will build her confidence, and maybe at Canadian Nationals she could be a contender for the title and work towards achieving higher program component marks from the international judges later on in the season. All right, so there we have it with the ladies. Let's now discuss the men's. And, of course, Shoma Uno of Japan won this competition. But as you see here, he did not win the short program. Huge mistakes. Keegan Messing of Canada, congratulations to him for winning the silver medal here. Huge achievement for Canada. Junhwa Cha of Korea definitely made a splash at this competition. Alexander Samarin of Russia caught my eye as well. Nam Nguyen and Jason Brown, personal victories in my opinion. It was great to see Kevin Amos, a representative from France. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Brendan Carey of Australia for having a really good short program. So let's go ahead and discuss the results even further. Shoma Uno, man, when I think of his short program, I just think of how deadly the fall on the triple axel was. So here we have it. He started off with a nice quad flip, but then had some struggles on the landing of the triple toe of his combination. But he completed two quads, so really impressive. This was not easy to look at. That was a clear mistake. Lost the level on the combination sit spin. This triple axel, oh, deadly fall. Usually he could do those so easily in his sleep with the spread eagle going in and out, but it actually looked like he was injured in the short program because that was just an uncharacteristic mistake. Maybe it affected his spin level here. Glad the judges weren't crazy and rewarding him with nines. So, modest program component marks. Even that free program he skated in also was not great. The thing that helped him, oh, that was the wrong one. So, the thing that helped him win the competition was that he was able to rack up the points. I don't think he did it particularly well. They were not clean skates, they're not easy programs to watch. He just did enough. Look at how many quads he attempted. Four. So he racked up so many points in the base values. But no, the quad Salchow was under rotated. He had two falls down here. Really tough to watch. Program component marks did go up a little bit in the free program. I don't think I saw a big difference in his skating skills between the two. I really think he might be injured. He didn't look comfortable at this competition at all, but he got the job done. And it is what it is. If someone wants to catch up to Shoma, I mean, they're just going to have to up their base value. And let's talk about Keegan Messing of Canada. So, how did he win that short program? By being perfect technically. Quad toe, triple toe, boom. 16.41 points for that one element. Amazing grade of execution marks. Level 3 spin there. Could have been a 4, but got 4, 4. And then a 10% bonus on the triplets. Program component marks, these are really good for Keegan. Mid 8s. I think they could potentially go higher. But he did deserve these marks because both of Keegan's programs, short and long, really show off his personality, which is sometimes hard to do in figure skating these days with IJS. He was able to entertain and be playful with the audience, which has a bigger effect, especially when the jumps are on. Okay, and it seems like, to me at least, he may be the clear favorite for the men's title at the Canadian National Championships this year. Free program did not go as clean as his short. He did have a fall with an under rotation on the quad toe, but man, he did execute a really clean one in the beginning of the program. But still, really good outing for Keegan. At least he went for two quads. I'm wondering if he can go add a Salchow in there if he wants to close the gap between him and the other top men. But I think it'll just take time for the PCS to go up because he does have the right programs. Yes, I've heard the criticism that he is reusing both of his programs from last season, but hey, if they work, why change it? And he has an opportunity this season with Patrick Chan being out and some other top men. Actually, are any of the top men taking a break? No, not Nathan Chen. So, anyways, he has a chance to really make it big for Canada. So, I think he just wants to make sure he skates really well, and that's why he's sticking with programs he's really comfortable with. Let's move on to Junwon Cha of Korea. You know, two really solid performances landed him in the bronze medal position. What do I have to say about him? He is also someone who sees the opportunity of being at a senior Grand Prix event for the first time ever, made a name for himself by being the youngest athlete at the Korean Olympic Games. He's still developing artistically as a skater as well as with the skating skills. It's just going to take time. His programs are very age appropriate and lean on the playful side, which works for him. His Romeo and Juliet program is a guilty pleasure of mine. Let's see here. Yeah, so, he is attempting two different quads, so that's good. Unfortunate with, the under rotation and the fall on the toe. But two triple axles done really cleanly, really nice spins. This mark will go up. How does this compare to Keegan? So Junhwa's free program PCS is 80, and then Keegan's is 87. Yeah, so a big difference there. And I just think maturity and skating skills will develop with time. And who else can I talk about? I actually wanted to mention Nam Nguyen, and let's look at the protocols for his short program. Because he was one of the athletes who had to compete 2 weeks in a row, as he was also at Skate America. And I'd say he did a pretty good job here. So this is the free program. Let's go into the short program. So yeah, unfortunate that the triple toe was under rotated because that combination looked good in person, the quad sal triple toe. But I was also impressed that he was able to pull out a triple axel and a triple flip. Mid sevens here. They may be a touch low. I remember in the audience, we were all a little bummed that his score wasn't higher. I think Nam Nguyen was also bummed as well. But he shouldn't feel too bad because I do think one area in his skating where I've seen the most improvement is his speed. His skating is so much faster than it used to be. He used to look like he was slugging across the ice for being so young. And so that's an area where I'm glad to see that he's been working on. I also love both of his programs. I especially love the La La Land free program because that works really well for him. Like Keegan Messing, he knows how to let his personality shine. Let's talk about Jason Brown. Sixth place overall. Kind of disappointing, but when you consider where he was after the short program, which was 11th, I think it was really impressive how he was able to climb his way up. And mainly, he was able to do that because he has such amazing skating skills. The technical aspect of his skating still definitely needs work. I understand because it's his first season with a totally different coaching change. He now trains in Canada with the Brian Orser and Lee Barkell camp at the Toronto Cricket Club. It's just going to take some time, so I think it's going to be a transitioning year for Jason as well. Shall we look at the protocols here? I remember it was really, really tough to watch. Yeah, ouch. Fall and under rotation on the triple axle. And then, really bad mistake here. I remember I told some of my friends all Jason had to do to be in medal contention after the short program was skate a clean quadless short. But when you have no quads planned and you're not clean, I mean, this is kind of the result you have to expect. And if anything, his overall score is being propped up because this part of his skating is so good. Skating skills 8.61. That means his deep edges, his crossovers are smoother. He really interprets the music well. By the way, I love his short program. Love is a bitch. Have no problem saying that. I will say it again and again if I have to. Free program, definitely a step up. So let's take a look at why am I moving upwards? Overall score. So 158.51 and Nam got 158.72. So think about this. The free program scores were so close together, except Nam attempts multiple quads and Jason does not. And as we can see here for program component marks, Nam gets mid sevens and Jason gets mid eights. Imagine how much of a contender Jason Brown would be once the technical side of his skating is in check with difficult quads. And I say quads because he's going to need two eventually. We'll start with one for now, but long term, he should plan on having two in the free program at the Olympics if he makes it. Let's see, anything else I was going to mention? Nope, I think that is it. I also wanted to talk about Brendan Carey. Let's look at his protocols for the short program of Australia. I wanted to give him some love because it was great to see Australia represented here at the Grand Prix. And by the way, Australia will continue to be represented in the Grand Prix because my girl, Kylie Crane, will be competing at NHK Trophy in a few weeks. I am so happy for her. But here, Brendan Carey, this is an example of how Brendan can skate to his full potential. This program was so spot on for me. And here's the thing, it wasn't just about the jumps. He skated with so much emotion, with his heart on his sleeve, and it was really well received from the audience. I mean, I think we all went crazy after he landed that quad toe that hasn't always been clean for him. Great combination, and then triple axel. Boom. So good. I just wish the program component marks could have been a little higher, but it's okay. He looked really pleased with it, but had way too many mistakes in the free program, which caused him to drop in the standings. But Brendan should definitely be proud of the short program here at Skate Canada International. Also, shout out to. Let me move it up here. I'm going to do this. Shout out to Kevin Amos. It was great to see representation from France. He got some real attention here from his great short program. Not a very tall athlete, but the jumps were impressive, similar to Keegan Messing with the perfect snap and the great landing positions. Let's see if I could look at the details of Kevin's short program. Okay, so he didn't fall, but I do remember being very impressed. So he probably just stepped out of that triple axel. That under rotation was hard to see, I think, from the naked eye in the audience. But a great performance from Kevin. Really glad to see him part of this competition. Okay, next discipline here. Let's go with pairs. And I have one word, France. This discipline was all about the French pair, Vanessa James and Morgan Cipres. They had their absolute best skates here, but here's the thing. They've always had this potential. The way they skated wasn't anything new or groundbreaking from them. They've always been this good, but they've just had some hiccups with the jumps. They could not have chosen a better time to be on their A game with all of the recent pair retirements. It might be early to say this, but it looks like they are on their way to winning a world title, at least in my opinion. Let's take a look at some of their scoring detail here. I know some people were thrown off by the plus positive grade of execution marks on the throw triple flip because it didn't look perfect. It looked a little shaky, but they got some threes and twos. Got 3 -1 GOEs, which kind of makes sense. I was also questioning that as well. Don't get me wrong, they definitely deserve the high score and to be in first place after the short program. But this element, I would have given it like a 0 just because it didn't look perfect. But otherwise, level 4 triple twists. Theirs is so good. Side by side triple toes were bang on. Don't know what judge number 3 was talking about. And then actually, kind of modest grade of execution marks here as well. Let's see if that changed for the free program at all. So they went a little higher. As you can see, we got some 9s. And look at this perfect, clean protocol. No under rotations. No negative grade of execution marks at all. Do you see any? Because I don't. They had the perfect free program. The free program of their lives. And I think if they keep it up, which I think they can, they'll start to see this go up. They were just so good. Let me know if you also love the French pair. So then it pretty much became a battle for the silver medal between the Chinese pair, Cheng Peng and Yang Jin, and the Canadian pair, Kirsten Moore Towers and Michael Marinero. As you can see here, less than a point separates them overall. But the Chinese, I think, had the advantage in the short program as they were second as opposed to fourth in the free. So let's take a look at their scores for the short. Very successful side-by-side. Triple toes, triple twist, level 3. Interesting compared to the French who got level 4. Throw triple loop. Whew! +4, +4, +5 GOE from judge number 6. I think that's their money element right here. But yeah, I thought they were bang on in the short program. High sevens seems about right. I think they could have gotten low eights in some of these uh, components. What about the free skate here? So they were down in fourth because I think this Russian pair, whew, they really delivered in the free skates. But yeah, a mistake on the side by side. And I remember this first element, the double sack out, they were actually perfectly in sync, which explains the positive grade of execution mark to the point where it looked like it was planned. So if it was planned, I'm not sure that was a good idea because it almost cost them the silver medal. I I, I don't know, but hopefully that becomes a triple later on in the season. Otherwise, the rest of their protocols look pretty good. Throw triple sal. Yep, you can see how amazing their throws are based on their grade of execution marks. Throw triple loop up here. Same thing, 4s and 3s. So impressive. And then we see an improvement with grade of or with program component marks. Kirsten Moore Towers and Michael Marinero. Let's talk about their free program for a second. I really like their Shine on You Crazy Diamond free program by Pink Floyd. Everyone knows that's my favorite short program from Ashley Wagner from 2014. Just had some hiccups. This was the biggest one here was the sequence or the combination. Fortunately, that was downgraded. I remember being impressed that they did such a difficult element so early on. But once they master that, I mean, they're going to be scoring pretty well. Had this just been an under rotation, it could have given them the silver medal. So next time, guys. But yeah, this free skate, I liked how it was a departure for Kirsten Moore Towers from her classic cuteness vibe in a lot of the programs that she's done in the past. So I like seeing this pair team develop, and I think they're the favorite for the Canadian, for the gold medal at the Canadian National Championships this year. So great for them. The Russian pair, am I going to try to pronounce that? Alexandra Boykova, Dmitry Kozlovsky. So they were the surprise of the night, especially in the free skate. Look, they were seconds. They are so young, but so good. They definitely had potential to be on the podium here if any of the top three pairs made additional errors. I could totally see it. So I also wanted to give a shout out to the Australian pair on their debut at the Senior Grand Prix. They've consistently been growing and skating well over the past few seasons, so this is a good chance to get more exposure and become more competitive. Their short program was the stronger performance of the two. So let's look at the details here. So Ekaterina and Harley Windsor of Australia. You know, side by side struggles on the toe, but a level 4 triple twist, that's really impressive. And then a throw triple flip. So more skates like that with some more polish, and I think we will continue to see them rise in the rankings. I also wanted to say that the Canadian pair, Evelyn Walsh and Trent, also did well. These were athletes who had to compete 2 weeks in a row, and this was definitely a better outing for them than what they did in Skate America. I see a potential for them in the future. They could definitely make the podium at Canadian Nationals this year, I think. And the door is wide open with the retirement of Megan and Eric and the breakup between Charlie and Julien Seguin. So I would keep an eye out for Evelyn and Trent of Canada in the future. Now, last but not least is dance. And I gotta say, I was trying to judge dance really closely in person, but it's hard to do because I want to focus on the edges, which I couldn't see really well from my seat. So this is going to be difficult, but congratulations to Madison, Hubbell, and Zachary Donohue of the United States for not only winning the gold medal here, but doing it 2 weeks in a row and securing a spot at the Grand Prix final. So they know they're going to be in Vancouver. I kind of don't know what to say about them besides the fact that they're so good. And I'm happy that they finally have a season where they are rightfully the leading US dance team and they are owning it. In the past, they've been plagued with making mistakes when the door was wide open, but the last two competitions, they have just been on. Everyone is asking me about what I think of their free dance, and it's something that has to grow on me. They commit to the program so well, but the free dance just doesn't grab me right away. I feel like I start getting into it right around the halfway mark. It's the first time that they're doing something that's kind of well known. They usually pick some really unique pieces. And if you're wondering, I'm not a fan of anyone's short dance yet this season. The tango is just not my personal style. But I will say Madison and Zachary do it really well. So let's analyze the scores here a little bit. They had a nice, comfortable lead over the Russians, but they were actually second in the free dance. So, yeah. Victoria, oh, am I going to try to say the last name? No, I'm not. And Nikita of Russia in second, and Piper Gillies and Paul Poirier of Canada. Ah, maybe a disappointing third. I think they were trying to fight for the gold medal here. Unfortunately, a major mistake, which was a fall, kept them so far down in the standings after the rhythm dance. So let's see if we can take a look at the details here. Shall we start with the rhythm dance first? And as you all know, I am not the best person to analyze ice dance, but let's go ahead and look at the protocols and try. So we can see here a lot of positive grade of execution marks. So that just means that whatever Madison and Zachary do, they don't just do it, they do it so well. Grade of execution marks, I mean, those are some good numbers in comparison to the base values. Let's see here. Program component marks, ooh, low nines. Wow, that is amazing. I think the judges are sending a message that this dance team is the gold standard, at least for the United States. It's great. Victoria and Nikita, a little lower, but still impressive. Let's take a look at what Piper and Paul did and how that was judged. So, yeah, they had a fall. So that's a deduction. Oh, so this caret here means an under rotated jump or interruption of less than 4 beats. So that's interesting. That's just interesting. Okay, so while we're on the topic of Piper and Paul, I will say they totally rebounded with the free dance. Their free dance was my absolute favorite so far this season. Um, if there's been some other great ones that you like that I don't know about, please let me know. But I've only paid attention to the Grand Prix and Autumn Classic this season, so maybe there's going to be some other free dances coming up, but Piper and Paul stole the show for me on that free dance. And actually, the audience too. I saw some audience members crying, maybe because they were Canadian and extra patriotic, But oh, it was so good. Look at this grade of execution marks. Fives in grade of execution from the judges on this element. I think that's the stationary lift, level 4. That's one of my favorite elements in ice dance, stationary lifts. Oh, so impressive. Grade of execution. Let's compare these. So Piper and Paul got 53 in the free dance. And like I said, this free dance stole the show that night for me. So 53 versus 55 from Madison and Zach. And then, yeah, also 55 from Victoria and Nikita. So it's interesting that Madison, Hubbell, and Zachary Donohue were second in the free dance. So, shall we expect more of a showdown between these two teams in the future? We shall see. Another honorable shout out in ice dance would be Olivia Smart and Adrian Diaz of Spain. I think they were a lot more impressive in the rhythm dance. Olivia Smart definitely has personality, and I like the energy she brings to the ice dance. I was not feeling it in the free dance, and I don't think the judges were either. Didn't have the same level of engagement or energy between these two or with the audience, in my opinion, and I was there live in person. So, everyone, I think that is it for my recap. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry it's filmed in a different format. I will try to get things together for the next one, and I will see you all later. All right, goodbye.